Welcome to beat blog number 4. This time I'm making a beat from scratch using only the Boss SP-303 and a few records. Let's dive in. My first stop was drums. I pulled out one of my favorite drum breaks, and after slowing it down with my modified turntable, I fed it into my SP-303. Once I had the drums in, I found the melodic sample that I wanted to use. I roughly matched its tempo to the tempo of my drums and recorded it into my 303 as well. And after that, it was onto the chopping. In order to give the drums a fuller sound with more bottom end, I resampled the break with the isolator on, turning the lows all the way up while the highs and mids all the way down. Next, I used the C canceller. Once again, I turned the lows all the way up, the highs all the way down, and the balance all the way to the right, and I resampled it to another empty pad. Lastly, I used the equalizer, and you guessed it, I cranked the lows and turned everything else down. After some volume adjusting, I resampled that pad with the original break, and with the drums hitting harder, I was ready to go. I went through chopping up the break. I decided to chop this at the kicks and snares, which left not only the original feel of the drummer, but also kept more of the crackle and grime that came from the record. Once I had my chops and had figured out a sequence, I resampled it onto a single pad. Using my drums as a guide, I began chopping my sample and trying to figure out the sequences that I liked. I can easily spend an hour or two on this alone. It's one of my favorite parts of beat making. With my sample chopped and sequences figured out, I just had to set my volumes where I liked. When using the SP-303's vinyl sim compressor, I usually turn the samples down to between 50 and 75 while keeping my drums at 127. This adds a nice subtle pumping effect to the sample. I resampled the loop to a few different pads, adding variations to each one. After that, I figured out an intro and played the whole thing into my DAW. From there, I put a phaser and a limiter on the full track mix, and that was that. It was good to go. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop me a like. Please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell. Super appreciate that. If there's anything you want to see me do a video on, just let me know down in the comments. Also, please follow my Instagram. And lastly, enjoy. I'll see you next time.